What is up, comic fam? Welcome to the Legion of Comics. I'm Mark. It's Tuesday. That means it's new DC Day. There are a ton of great books that hit the shelves. There's some events kicking off. There's also some other good, great DC stuff happening this week. We'll get into just a little bit, but before I do any of that, check this out. Big shout out to Big Time Collectibles for sponsoring the monthly Legion Loot giveaway. The winner of this month's or February's box will be drawn this coming Sunday on At Week's End. Be sure to check it out. Some awesome stuff on their website, bigtimecollectibles.com. Also follow them on Instagram and Facebook. If you're looking to get anything cleaned or pressed, hit up Justin Comics on Instagram. He can take care of you for as little as $10 a book. If you use that promo code WeAreLegion, you can take advantage of his most recent special offer he's got running. All right, let's get into it. This has been a great Tuesday for me. I was able to wake up early. The house was really calm. So I took to the tablet and I was able to start reading everything really early. So I've actually read all but one of these books that I pulled for today, which there's a lot. There's definitely a lot. It was a solid week. And I'll tell you what, these all have me excited because this week is also the big week. This is where DC really shows us what they got. They kick off the Batman. So, dude, I'm pumped for that. There's been some early reviews coming back. I forget what it is, like IMDb or IGN or something gave it like a 10 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes gave it a ridiculously high certified fresh grade. It's just getting awesome feedback. Some awesome feedback. But real quick, before we go any farther, let me see if we got anybody in the chat say hello. We have Wheelchair Superhero 87's up in here. What is going on? Happy new DC Day to you. Yeah, and apologies for starting a couple minutes late. I had the post office showed up right when I was getting ready to go live, and they brought me a slab from CGC that I had to sign for, which is super exciting because I know what it is, and it is definitely a really, really big boy book. But this was a solid week. That's the DC pools for this week. A lot of good stuff in there. So let's kick it off with, as the comic vet would say, the franchise. So we had Batman 121 hit. So this is the finale to the Abyss storyline that featured that new character, the Abyss, where Batman had to go check on Batman Incorporated, who were going to jail for killing said character, and we find out that Lex Luthor is the banker behind the current Batman Incorporation. And in that last issue we saw where there was a twist where Batman Inc. was not actually working for Lex Luthor, but for Abyss himself to kill Lex Luthor. So Lex Luthor showed up in this bat suit needing Batman's help and everything. So this was a decent finale to that. Nothing over the top. It was a good self-contained story inside of the pages of Batman. I will tell you that this issue leads you straight into the upcoming Shadow War that is the crossover storyline with Deathstroke and Robin. All three of those titles, Joshua Williamson has been helming, so I haven't been reading Robin anymore. I started it off. It wasn't poorly written, but it just wasn't one for me. You know, it had this weird feeling for me, like it didn't know what it wanted to be. Like one minute you're hanging out with assassins, murderers, villains. Then the next minute, they're all acting like children. Like their age really doesn't matter in that situation. You know, it just felt weird watching them act like kids. Like Damian was literally raised as an assassin, killed numerous people, you know, by his grandfather, Ra's al Ghul, and then they're going to pretend like they care about childish things. I wasn't convinced. Didn't convince me. So next up, I picked up Batman 1055. They're continuing with these awesome covers. These really, really awesome covers we saw in that last issue, the big breakout that took place in the asylum finally. And Psycho Pirate has been the one that's keeping everybody at bay. It's keeping everyone calm and under his influence so that Dr. Ware could get this funding that he needs for his ultimate plans. And Psycho Pirate slipped. He is no longer in control of all the inmates. So while there are tons of visitors at the tower and all kinds of stuff, we saw just haywire take place. People started murdering people, getting kidnapped. We have a lot of the Bat family people that were undercover in there that now need help. But it was really cool because it looks like Batman might be coming back to the Shadows of the Bat story for the finale of it, or at this point in it at least. Another one. This was my blind pick of the week going in. This was my hot pick, and for me, it's definitely held up. This is War for Earth 3, issue number 1 of 2. So this is going to be a multi-part event that starts in the pages right here of its own title that will cross over through Suicide Squad, Teen Titans Academy, The Flash. So it started out strong. We got the first 2 installments this week with War for Earth 3 and then the Suicide Squad issue number 13. So the whole thing with this has kind of been building primarily in the pages of the Suicide Squad, which has kind of been the backbone for DC Comics' current continuity. So we have Amanda Waller, who has completely burned all of her bridges on Earth, has been working to establish this new team and to map out the multiverse to find somewhere to set up shop. And she's picked, stupidly, I don't know why she decided to pick it, but Earth 3, home of none other than the Crime Syndicate. That's where we get our evil alternate versions of the Justice League, from Ultraman, Superwoman, Power Ring, Johnny Quick, Atomica, which is like the female Atom. It's just a wild team, and I'm loving these covers for it. They're doing this big connected cover thing, which is super dope. We have all like the comparable characters: Talon, Nightwing, Owlman. Then on the next cover, we have Ultraman, Superboy, and Brick, who's like the Bizarro Superboy. So we haven't really seen Superboy since the annual for Suicide Squad. So hopefully they'll bring him into this book, and we'll actually get to see some more of him. But I'm definitely enjoyed those first 2 installments. It is action packed, absolutely action packed. Huge cast. Like I said, we have the Suicide Squad. We have Rick Flag's Suicide Squad, which he is deprogrammed and taken the bomb out of numerous ex-members' necks and formed his own team to go after Waller herself. We have not seen Teen Titans show up yet, nor the Flash, but they will all be here soon enough. We got some more people hopping up in the chat. We got Flo Dameron, best day of the week, absolutely. Your channel member right there, appreciate it. House of L Comics, hi, happy new comic day to you as well. Geek Out with Roscoe is up in the building. What is going on? Justin Hilson, the presser with the Besser, best channel on the block. I appreciate that, my man. Can't wait to read Nice House. Well, here it is. So this is like the only book that I pull A and B covers for. I don't know why or what it is. Look at custom emojis from the channel members, slinging them things. Definitely appreciate that. I love seeing those up on the screen. This was awesome. This was really awesome, like super cool. So this is back from its hiatus. James Tynan's like, it's really at this point the only thing of his that I enjoy reading is Department of Truth and Nice House on the Lake. The rest of the stuff that he was doing is kind of just falling off my pull list or my read list. But this was on a hiatus for a few months after issue 6. It is a 12-issue maxi series. So at the halfway point, they took a break. And we had the Volume 1 trade paperback came out today. So if you didn't read the first 6 issues, you can easily get them in a collected volume. But this was really cool. The whole dynamic of the book has been shaken up. I don't want to go into too much because everything about that book is a potential spoiler. But yeah, boom. Mr. Beckerman is up in the building. What is up, everyone? We got that We Are Legion custom emoji and that Hulk fist. I appreciate all the channel members throwing those custom emojis. Definitely enjoy seeing those guys. But a lot of new things happen. I feel like we had to take a few steps back after the big reveals from issue 6 to really build on. And I can't wait for Sunday to actually get to talk about it with full spoilers and try to speculate on what could happen next with a few people in the community and everything. It's awesome. I appreciate that, Kyle. I think they're cool. I spent more time than I care to admit getting those emojis figured out and made. What's wrong with baby? What is it? What do you need? Baby what? You want me to fix the back? Here. All better. Here. All better. No, Daddy made that at home. Next book I picked up, and right after Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow wrapped up from Tom King, following week we get his next miniseries. So recently, most of his stuff has been 12-issue maxi series, and Supergirl was only an 8-issue. And then now we have Batman Killing Time, which is going to be a 6-issue series. You okay? Go tell Bubba. All right. We're getting ready to go to the park, so they're all amped up. So we have a 6-issue miniseries from Tom King and somebody Marquez. The interior arts on this were absolutely gorgeous. Oh, that's at the back. I remember from reading it earlier. Oh, all this Trial of the Amazon event is in the back pages of everything. Covered by Marquez and Sanchez. I'm not sure who Marquez and Sanchez are, but the interiors on this are fantastic. Look at that page. Just boom. Some really cool stuff right there. Some really, really awesome stuff. It was a really cool story. It starts out with just like a kind of like, it was almost like a modern day like bank job kind of thing. Like where you're at this time of day, this character's here, then this one's here, and it all kind of came together for a heist job that was being done. And we do not necessarily know what they stolen, but it is a huge deal, whatever it is, just based off people's reactions. It's supposed to be like the crime of the century. And it's pretty cool because it takes place in early years for Batman. Like Jim Gordon has just been appointed commissioner. So it isn't like these villains are tired out and defeated time and time again yet at this point in their career. So it was dope. I'm definitely looking forward to issue 2 already. Next up, we have Justice League number 73. So this is that Chaos War or whatever was they were calling it in that last issue. This is the big storyline to League of Chaos Part 2. This is the big storyline that's going to get us to Death of the Justice League. This is going to be like Bendis's final stuff before issue 75. So we have 2 more after this before the Death of the Justice League. No, 1 more after this, 74, and that's it. So this will wrap up with the next issue, I guess. We have this character called Xanadoth, who's the Lord of Chaos from ancient times, the equal opposite kind of to Dr. Fate, the Lord of Order. And he's coming just to wreak havoc. And look at this, and look at again with the interiors are insane. There you go, baby. Sorry, I had to yell to the Google Home. It's playing it in your room. She was asking to watch Coco Melon. But it was pretty dope. It was definitely good stuff. They're doing like this multiple artist kind of thing. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 interior artists on this, and it definitely shows. So that kind of like when I was reading it, kind of didn't necessarily take me out of the story, but it catches your attention where you like no longer thinking just 100% enveloped in the story. You're like, well, what's up with this art now? But this guy, whoever did these pages, is just absolutely amazing. So we get a little bit of backstory about how the Lord of Chaos and the Lord of Orders kind of balance and relationship is, and where this Lord of Chaos they introduced in the last issue came from, and what our current heroes are trying to deal with a possessed Black Adam who's possessed by this Lord of Chaos. So that all happened in the last issue, so I'm not spoiling this issue, but we have this issue and 1 more to wrap it up before Williamson will be coming over to this title to give us the big Death of Justice League kickoff for Dark Crisis that's coming up. Hey, House of L Comics just, I guess he rejoined because he was a member. But I appreciate you rejoining, which is awesome because I actually mailed off your channel member welcome packet. That shows you how long it took me to restock those. So since you first joined, you've had to rejoin in that time. But I definitely appreciate you throwing that membership back up there. Hey, yo, I'm here for the Marvel books. I'll talk some Marvel once we get through the DC stuff because it is new DC Day. So there's only physicals I have, but it's also got plenty of stuff that comes out tomorrow that I don't have in hand today. And I'm looking right now. Dude, I hate to break your heart, Nick. Marvel's going to have to write better books because none made it to the list for this week, it looks like. There's some indies for tomorrow that I'll be picking up on Friday. But yeah, what's going on, my people in the chat? Oh, no worries at all, man. Dude, I appreciate it. Yeah, that's all I can say is I definitely appreciate the support. There's those custom emojis, the Superman emoji, the Legion of Comics emoji. Those things are awesome. But yeah, I've got the ability to add a couple more emojis now because the amount of emojis that you're given to create and spaces for is based off the number of channel members you have. So I think I'm able to add 2 more. I got to get around to designing some. I kind of wanted to wait and till I could think of some stuff that would be cool or relevant to the channel to do. But Justice League Incarnate from Joshua Williamson, the prelude to the Dark Crisis event, finished up today. This is technically like part 2 of the prelude. We had, where are you going, bud? We had Infinite Frontier, which was like a 6-issue miniseries. We had the Secret Files and Origins that kind of added to them, the initial issue 0, and then we had this miniseries. So this all is building up toward the Dark Crisis, as well as the stuff that's being talked about in other books. The Great Darkness is referred to in the current Justice League stuff, even though it's not like hard canon. You know, these with the loose continuity with the Omniverse stuff, you kind of get a kind of fun just kind of getting to pick up on these Easter eggs that are spread out between stuff. But this was a solid finale. Darkseid is just really hell bent on doing his thing and having a hard time understanding that his plans have been canceled. And at this point, per the last issue, Darkseid and the JLI were fighting side by side to stop the empty hand of darkness from turning on his Oblivion machine. And that's kind of where this one picks up. And it just kind of like the last miniseries, there's really a hopeless scenario for this book, knowing what's coming next. You know, like this is all just kind of building up to it. So it's watching a lot of loss, watching a lot of heroes take a lot of losses, some triumphant moments where they overcome, but really just get kicked in the shins right afterwards. And I enjoy that. Like, I don't want just a clean cut, here's a problem, we fix it. Like they're having to go through it to get to there. But good stuff. I like the Justice League multiverse. Absolutely, dude. It's wicked. It's definitely a fun. I'm a big fan of like hodgepodge teams and stuff. I think that's why I like the Suicide Squad so much. I like it when you get stuff like you have President Superman, Thomas Wayne Batman, Captain Carrot, Mary Marvel, the Flash from Earth. I think it's like Earth 8 or something. Definitely a different Earth. But it's just, who would have thought to put that team together? And you have Orion in there. Orion is like leading his own team at this point, which you'll see in the pages of that. But it was very exciting. Next up is just a cover buy. And I saw this last week when the book showed up to the LCS. And I'm like, man, I'm going to grab me one of those. I think I have a hard time passing it up. But it's actually the variant for Batman 121, which I showed earlier. This is the Lee Bermejo movie variant, because as DC's been doing, like when Wonder Woman 84 came out, when Peacemaker came out, now when the Batman's coming out, they're doing all these movie cover variants. And this is the Lee Bermejo, and it's almost like the Jim Lee homage, but with the Robert Pattinson's Battinson version. Like, that is wicked. Like, I've got the Miko one right here, and I was kind of sour that they didn't face the Robert Pattinson one the correct direction. They kind of got them backwards there. But that is super dope. So yeah, that is absolutely wicked. It seems like an obvious homage there. But yeah, that I had to grab. I probably won't keep this one. This will probably end up in a Legion loot box for the channel members. But I didn't want to leave it on the shelf. I wanted to at least hang out with it for a little while before I give it away. But it's super cool. I love the colors on it. The blues with the little red light shining up from the city. It's really cool. Now that I noticed it, I didn't think about it, but there's no bat signal in this guy. I wonder if he has a bat signal at this point in time in the movie. And I do know a lot of people are going to see the movie today. We got our good friend who's in the chat right now. I believe that he's going to see it today. The OAOG has entered the chat. I know he's talking about Beckerman there. Khonshu, heard your shade towards Moon Knight tomorrow. You are forgiven for now. I apologize. Yeah, I'm not keeping current on Moon Knight, but the Comic Vet on the video we do together that comes out on his channel every Sunday where we both give you our top pick, he picked this week's upcoming Moon Knight as his top pick just because of the B cover that looked like it was an homage to an old famous painting. More Zatanna and the rest of them. Zatanna's been great in Justice League Dark. She's kind of like the front runner of the Justice League Dark team right now. It was kind of funny. Some issues ago when they put her in that position, she was reluctant to take it, and Constantine was like, "You've got this." But kind of behind her back, he's like, seems like he's using her. He needs her in that position for his own specific reasons. I am going tonight. Well, I'm definitely excited for you. Batman on Friday for Roscoe. Friday for me as well. Pops, myself, the wife, will be going Friday at 12:30 because that's the first showing in the theater that they enjoy to go to in the biggest room possible. So I'm a fan of the Regal Theater we have because it's got like all these fantastic neon lights, and I like the IMAX and everything, and the comparable to IMAX that the Georgia Theater Company has, which I think is like AMC. They have what's called a GTX room. It's like the Grand Theater Experience, and it's got the big screen and the Dolby Atmos system in there, but it's definitely good quality. But they like them because the chairs are wider. I'm like, that just means I can crawl in the fetal position and fall asleep. Like I'm just worried about having to have a bathroom break. Like I'm going to use the bathroom like as many times as I can before this movie and not eat or drink anything before I go into it. It's like 3 hours. And I've noticed the past few movies I've gone to, it was rough making it all the way through without getting up. What is going on, Justin? No Good Comics. Happy new comic book day. Just read Dark Knights of Steel and thought it was fantastic. It was fantastic. So that'll be the next one we talk about. So this was really cool. We actually get some curveballs thrown in this issue. This is as like with DC's or DC versus Vampires and the Tom Taylor stuff that's meant to be more edgy and have all these gotcha moments. This is delivering with all of that. And to this point, there hasn't been an issue that hasn't kind of like thrown a twist on something that we expected to happen. And this gives us a few of those. So we've had the death of Black Lightning at the hands of Supergirl. We've got Black Lightning's son killed. Constantine's handed the reins. We have the Amazonians not wanting to side with Supergirl in the House of El. So all of these tensions are rising, and it's looking like this prophecy where they talk about the Amazonians and the House of Storms coming together to take down the House of El is starting to get fired up. And we have a world where Wonder Woman and Supergirl look like they're romantically involved. And Wonder Woman does not believe, get Bubba too, and Wonder Woman does not believe that Supergirl committed those crimes. So they actually come face to face with each other to talk about what's been happening and where to go from here. And there are some twists and turns along the way. We also get, it's a heavily female-led issue as well. You have Poison Ivy, Harley Quinn, and Wonder Woman being the main body of this issue. And it was definitely cool. I love seeing these regular characters and these regular people that we see all the time put into a new environment, drawn a different way. They're definitely true to their original characters, but they have a different personality attached to them. It's really fun. 2 podcasts come out this week. Awesome. They're great. I have a lot more I have to keep up with. So if y'all don't know, Flo Dameron is one of the hosts of the Bada Boom podcast, and be sure to follow them also on Instagram. He's always like one of the first people to put up posts about new stuff, like whether it be new movie posters, announcements, whatever. So I enjoy following him, so I don't have to do all the work to keep up with all that stuff. He helps out a lot. He didn't even realize that. I'll take that Batman cover off your hands. Yeah, it's going to be going into a channel member giveaway box. So probably won't be giving away this Sunday, but the first Sunday of next month, it'll go into that giveaway. I'll be going Friday as well. So pumped. I'm definitely pumped. See, you're going to the IMAX. And I think that the IMAX screen we have, because the Regal that we have was here before they had IMAXs in like every theater. It was before they had recliners in every theater. It does now, but they retrofitted everything for it. They made a room in IMAX and they added all the recliners after the fact, so they're not like necessarily as big as the rest. But yeah, sub to Bada Boom. But yeah, the final book I have on my pickup, Batman Thursday, 6 p.m. for me, nice. Probably going Saturday during the day, avoid crowds and rowdy kids. Yeah, that's what's perfect about Friday during the day because most people are at work. I'll be drinking 0 liquids before the film. Exactly. Love the DC Elseworlds. Yeah, dude, they're so much fun. What is going on, Brother John Comics? How are you doing today? I have questions about this issue, and I don't want to spoil it. I'll DM you later, Mark. Yeah, DM me away. Slide up in my DMs. Do it. We'll figure it out. Dope Comics. Yo. What is going on? And there's one that I have that's a digital only that I'm excited about. I've not read it yet, but it's the Arkham City, the Order of the World that Dan Waters with Danny on the arts have done. It's been a phenomenal, just straight horror comic that takes place inside of the DC Comics universe. Basically, just with some of the inmates of Arkham Asylum that got out after A-Day and them trying to find out where they exist in society and if they're even capable of it. And it's been a grotesque, horror-ridden thrill ride. But the final book on my physical pickup is World of Krypton number 4 of 6 by none other than Robert Venditti. And we have something Oeming on the art. Now, I found out well after the fact of starting this that Oeming is who did that Power series that was kind of touched on in issue like 8 of Crossover or something like that. It was pretty good stuff, though. But I've been enjoying it. This was a great issue where the House of El and the House of Zod have definitely parted ways with each other, and you're seeing where their huge disagreements come in. And it's just been really fun. 2 issues left. I'm sure it'll end in heartbreak. Thank you, baby. And it's gonna be rough, but yeah. So that's all I have for my pickups for this week. I appreciate you, Flo. Happy DC New Comic Book Day. Picked up Batman 121 and Batman Killing Time number 1. Excited for both titles. They both were definitely good. If I had to pick one or the other, Killing Time was really, really good. I really like that one. But I'm just going to wrap it up for today. We're at 26 minutes. These kids are not going to take a nap, so I'm going to take them to the park and let them wear it all out. You ready to go to the park? Huh? I can't hear you. Yes. Yay. Wow. You didn't do any of that, but we're still going to go to the park. I appreciate your effort. All right, guys, I appreciate everyone watching. Leave me a comment after the video. Let me know what you're looking forward to this week, what your favorite read is if you read anything yet. And be sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Consider becoming a channel member. And until next time, as always, I'm Mark, but we are Legion.